Welcome to the Campfire. Today we are taking a deep dive into District 21 6A. The teams in this district are Beaumont United, Westbrook, North Shore, Humble, Atascocita, Kingwood, Summer Creek, and C.E. King. Let's start off by analyzing these teams in our film session. North Shore, who has made it to 4 state title games in the last 5 years, will have a change at the top. Legendary head coach John Kay has moved on to the college ranks, and Willie Gaston, a Mustang alum, takes over. Someone else returning to North Shore is quarterback Caleb Bailey. After missing a significant amount of games due to injury last year, Bailey is back to lead the Mustangs for his junior year. And boy, does he have some targets. Dion DeBlanc, Christopher Barnes, and Terrence Guillory are all back as wide receivers, so expect another deep playoff run. Atascocita is going to be right there nipping on their heels. Zion Brown threw for just under 3,000 yards last year, and he'll be back. Along with running back Tony Blaylock and cornerback Braylon Conley, the Eagles will be just fine. Summer Creek is not a team to be taken lightly. Offensive Player of the Year Lloyd Avant will be running wild again this year, and the Bulldog defense returns playmakers Kyron Duhan and Chadron Woodfork. C.E. King was a regional finalist last year and gave Katy all they could handle in that final. They got hit hard by graduation as they only returned 3 total starters, but flashy Ray G. Daly should keep them in the playoff hunt. Humble is right on the brink of making the postseason, and maybe 2023 could be their year. The Lowell Isio brothers, Juan and Jalen, should stand out on this Wildcat squad. Kingwood will be led on defense by Sam Malone and Cason McDonald. Westbrook and United will battle for wins at the back half of the district. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today. For an even deeper look at 21-6A, here's producer Ward Fasold and the Houston Chronicle's John Poorman with the district breakdown.
All right, district breakdown time. We got John Poorman with me, Houston Chronicle, and we have hit the premier district in 6A, 21-6A. These teams that make the playoffs here, over the last couple of years have gone at least 3 rounds deep, all 4 of them. So you kind of expect them to do big things in the playoffs this year, except the biggest deal is North Shore. They're getting a new coach in there after John Kay's led them to 4 out of the last 5 state title games. Talk to me about Willie Gaston.
Yeah, Willie Gaston is North Shore through and through. He graduated from the school. He played in the program. He knows what it's all about. He's been the offensive coordinator now under John Kay. And so, really expectations of these players are not going to change. He's had basically, a pretty full off season to be able to, kind of take the reins here. But really not much is going to change on the back end of this program, and what you see on the field, I don't expect will change much either. They're going to be really good this year. Once again, they're ranked number 13 in the country.
And we got a couple other exciting players coming back with Zion Brown coming back at Atascocita. My favorite player, Lloyd Avant, coming back, running the ball at Summer Creek. C. King had a lot of graduation, but you got to assume they might get that 4th spot as well. Talk about those 3 teams and what you expect out of them.
I'll start with the Atascocita because they were the team that, North Shore battled for the regional championship there, last year. And it's become, an annual battle. Whoever wins that game is going to win this district. I would venture to say that it's probably going to be the same this year as well. As you mentioned, Zion Brown is a veteran quarterback now. He's had years of experience. He's been in big playoff games. He knows what to expect. He's a true leader. Summer Creek, Lloyd Avant is just a stud. He's committed to Tulsa. He's going to be the catalyst for their offense once again. And then C.E. King, consistent. They're going to want to run the ball. They showed last year in the playoffs that they can throw it a little bit too.
Well, we'll see what happens. And next week, we're going to move on to 22-6A, who has the unenviable challenge of trying to beat these 21-6A teams in the playoffs and haven't been very successful late. But we'll take a look at those teams next week.
Good.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers in our Players on the Rise presented by Parker University. It's always a good thing when you have a certified workhorse returning in your backfield, and that's what Summer Creek has with Lloyd Avant. He ran for over 1,700 yards and 32 touchdowns for the Bulldogs as a junior. Avant never seems to slow down or tire, as he is just as dangerous in the fourth quarter as he is in the first. Avant averaged over 9 yards a carry last year and verbally committed to Tulsa. North Shore fans have been eagerly awaiting the return of quarterback Caleb Bailey, and that wait is near over. After putting on a postseason highlight show as a freshman and winning the state championship MVP, Bailey got hurt early in 2022. The versatile signal caller is back to lead the Mustangs, and Caleb is equally dangerous with his legs as he is with his arms. Look for big things this fall. The district was put on notice when four-star linebacker Xavier Atkins transferred to Summer Creek from Louisiana. At his previous high school, the man they called Debo tallied 20 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, and 2 picks. He brings even more athleticism to an already loaded Bulldog defense. Xavier has verbally committed to LSU. Quarterbacks in this district won't want to throw near Atascocita's Braylon Conley. The cornerback very rarely will let that ball be completed. Conley is a force in the secondary as the Mustangs use him to lock down the opponent's best receiver. After a ton of college interest, Braylon has verbally committed to USC. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today. Our Ward Fasol caught up to a head coach in this district to talk about his team and the rest of 21-6A in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day time. We are with Summer Creek head coach Kenny Harrison. We're talking about 21-6A. Obviously, one of the premier districts in the entire state. I mean, last year you had 4 teams go 3 rounds deep. The year before, I think it was the same. It's just a powerful district, and you have to find a way to get through it. And you guys have done it in the playoffs wise. But talk about how you have to try to get yourself through district play, and know that you may have been beaten a little bit and battle tested, but it's made good for the playoffs.
I tell you, the thing that we pride ourselves on is all season, and then having a very competitive non-district schedule to prepare us for District 21-6A. Arguably one of the top districts in the state of Texas, and like I say, we just take a lot of pride in all season and playing a highly competitive non-district schedule, and has prepared us for our district. And once we leave district, we've had a lot of success in the playoffs just because of our district competition.
Talk about playing a lot of football. You got to talk about your guy Lloyd Avant. I mean, holy cow, that guy is a beast. 30 plus touchdowns, 1,700 yards, and you have him again coming back from 2023. Just talk about him and what he brings to your ball club on the offensive side of the ball.
Just a first-class young man on and off the field. He's a leader by example, someone that all our kids look up to. He comes to work every single day, and just a tremendous leader for our football team. We're very excited. He's coming to the fall camp, or he's going through summer speed and strength at this point. As healthy as he's been, his weight is down a little bit and his speed is up, so that's going to help us out tremendously.
Well, this is going to be fun. We're going to have cameras all over the place, 21-6A this year. We're going to be invading Humble and trying to figure out where the best games are. So I'm looking forward to it in August, and thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Go Bulldogs.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we will dive into 22-6A. Until then, have a great week, everybody.